Right, welcome back to David at Go-To Hobbies. Now we're going to talk about artificial intelligence again. So this is part 2 about artificial intelligence. So the mundane tasks of like driving a car, yeah? So we're getting to the point where cars can drive themselves, or vehicles, right? We've employed artificial intelligence in many systems. Now, we're at a stage in its development which in the next 10 years will seem like we've been living in the Stone Age, looking back. In the next 10 years, artificial intelligence could change our future so dramatically that we look like we are, living in the Stone Age. That's the difference between what we could be living like in the next 10 years. For example, we're very reliant on fossil fuels, oil, gas, and petrol, diesel, aviation fuel. Supposing, if it hasn't already been done, artificial intelligence develops another power source or another fuel source so easy available, so easy replicable, reproduce it. Can't get the word out, but it is so easy to create. You've got matter. There's antimatter and there's matter, and never should the two should meet. But if it does meet, it creates energy. So that's why you've got to keep it separated, because it could cause catastrophic problems. Excuse me. But it's just like, how do I put it? Another analogy is like, no, I won't say it because it could cause problems. And it's like oxygen, pure oxygen in liquid form. You mix it with something, it becomes dangerous, as you know. And the problem with what we use now will be obsolete within 10 years if artificial intelligence was employed properly. It will give us the answers that we've been looking for, because how it will work is, if I'm right, it will analyze what the problem is and give us a solution. And more fool men or human beings for not taking the advice, because we've employed this artificial intelligence to help us. And if we don't listen or learn from what it's saying to us, we could end up in a very difficult situation. Now, artificial intelligence is a good thing, I think. It will make huge differences to, or has done so far, the way we interact. Give you an example. Companies are using artificial intelligence for customer services. In other words, it's an AI system that answers your call. Yeah? It's not a human being. I'm not saying in every case. In some cases, artificial intelligence is the entity that is talking to you. It understands what you're saying, the tone of your voice, and what you're trying to get across. I know. I had a feeling a long time ago, how do I word it? They was using TV programs. They were using other things to help artificial intelligence learn. They didn't tell you about it. This is my own views. They didn't tell you about it because they were pulling the information out of the system to enable artificial intelligence to learn. Right? So, in one respect, I understand that. I also heard that artificial intelligence can go wrong. And there has been a few cases. I heard about a situation where artificial intelligence was in charge of this gun system, and it shot soldiers because it misidentified them. So that's down the bad side. But on the good side is that hopefully it learned not to do it and was learnt that what it should be doing, not what it shouldn't be doing as such. And I've noticed like how people deal with mistakes. The trouble I find is that people, I'll give you another analogy about how artificial intelligence will help us. Here in the UK, we're having a big problem, and I think the problem is worldwide, and that is the intelligence of what people are doing. In other words, how they do things, why they do things, doesn't seem logic. Take for an example, sorry, I thought I had someone go out. Take an example of driving a vehicle. People do some stupid, daft things, to say the least. I drive on a motorway 5 days a week, and I'd see people doing stupid things like tailgating, driving too fast, and doing silly manoeuvres, not looking and paying attention, driving carelessly and dangerously. That is just to summarise a few things. But on the other side of the coin, if people had a bit more intelligence or used their intelligence, they would know not to do that. But unfortunately, people don't use common sense. Now, if we had artificial intelligence controlling vehicles, what do you think would happen? We would be a lot safer. There'd be less deaths on the road, less injuries. In other words, it will allow the NHS to be able to do more, which will cost us less. We've got a fly buzzing around. And that way, it will save us money because it will stop the accidents from happening, because the system will allow it to do manoeuvres in the vehicle which would allow it to be safer than operated by a human being. Bear with me for a second. This fly's annoying me. Settle down for a minute till it starts buzzing again. Right, so there we go. I think we'll round it up. An insight to artificial intelligence and how humans will benefit from it, I think, will be quite dramatic. Hopefully making people smarter, because within the next 6 years, by 2030, artificial intelligence will be able to be implemented into human beings. In other words, an upgrade to their brain to make them far more intelligent. That'd be interesting, because as it is at the moment, the way they drive vehicles on the roads, they definitely need a huge brain upgrade, don't they? That's the story, isn't it? Okay, we'll leave it at that. But I hope you enjoyed. Don't mind me, fly. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until the next time, bye for now.